This is the Besotted Pride of West London podcast. We're coming to you here from the Mercedes Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Final score, Brighton 2, the mighty Bees 0. And it was an interesting game. It was a game where, to be quite honest with you, there was actually quite a lot of action. There was actually some good football being played. It's only a pre-season friendly, but it's one of those pre-season friendlies where you sort of think, actually, hold on a second. The quality of football was decent. Brighton were good. Bees were good in parts. A few errors happened. But overall, I mean, it was a good game. But for me, this is my first one. I wasn't in Philly, because as you know, I was in Nice for that game. So I've come over for this one. So it's my first game. So it's a bit of a different experience is probably the best way that I'd describe it. Talk to me about that game.
Well, I was sitting right up in the clouds, actually, with a load of kids watching it.
Yeah.
It was just like the be-all of end-all of games. If you lost, you lost. It's crazy.
Yeah, good.
But it was good, yeah, I really enjoyed it. I like the way the team played. Change of keepers, still no Raya. That's a big sign, isn't it, no Raya? I thought he was going to get a half today, and he didn't. Lewis Potter, I thought was brilliant. I really liked him. But yeah, it's good, really good.
Bees played some good football. It's almost like, you know, if the stats people are there, they're going, oh, we're happy with that because like we created some chances. Their goalkeeper made quite a few good saves.
Don't you think he should have been player of the match, their goalkeeper?
Yeah.
I thought more than I know he scored 2 goals. Their keeper made some good saves.
And you know, just past the post, all this kind of stuff. You know, we played some really good football. Didn't put the ball in the back of the net. So, it's strange because we're sitting here in a stadium where we were behind the goal, trying to make some noise. The rest of the stadium is sort of quite quiet. You can see them sitting in their seats watching that game. Most of them probably never even know anything about Brentford.
No, exactly.
And
yeah, you're right.
all they know is goals and results, and they probably think
They cheer every attack, whatever end it was at. They cheered every attack. Yeah. Like I say, I was sitting up here. Every attack, at each end, they were cheering, and then, whoa, if it didn't go in, they just want goals.
Yeah, goals. To be fair, you know, if they're carrying on, they could have got goals at half time as well, and that goals at full time, but it didn't quite happen. That's an old podcast joke, an old Besotted joke, but anyway. But I mean, other than that, I mean, players impressed you, like you said to you, obviously, KLP, Keane, Lewis Potter impressed you, yeah?
Yeah, I thought he was really good, actually. And, you know, if he carries on this, he's going for a great season, isn't he? Great season.
Yeah.
I think they're keeping a few back.
Yes.
Hard day.
As you
do. Hard back.
Yeah.
You know, but from everyone looking, Brentford have lost 2 games. But you know what? It feels like we're a bit underdogs at the start of the season again.
And because we're standing here, and the stadium's getting fuller now. Chelsea everywhere. Yeah. So initially, Brentford had the early slot. Chelsea got the later slot, and the Chelsea fans, mainly local fans, a lot of Atlanta FC fans as well here. They're coming in here, and they're coming in later. You can hear them cheering and doing all the stuff that they do because Chelsea fans. Talk to me about that game.
We were flat again, really. I mean, you know, I don't quite understand what Thomas is trying to do with the team at the minute. There were some exciting moments, but really and honestly, it was 90 minutes of a little bit flat. It's just not us. We didn't press them enough. We were unlucky. There were a lot of good, fantastic moments in on goal. They defended so well. They looked like
Brighton. Yeah.
Brighton looked so good. They looked like they were us defending. We're really good at blocking shots. They blocked everything.
But saying that, you said it was flat. We took the game to them in a major way, and you could argue that we were probably a little bit unlucky.
Yeah, I suppose I'm looking at it from the point of view we didn't score, but you know, we had our chances, and maybe, you know, another day we would have taken them. But even so, I still feel that we were a little bit flat. Not quite as energetic as we normally are. Not quite as aggressive as we normally are. I don't know. I mean, that's how I feel about it.
Right, pre-season friendly. Thomas Frank's obviously trying players out. I mean, I sat down and I thought, listen, this is interesting because he's got players out here that I'm thinking you ain't going to start these players at the beginning of the season, right? At the first game of the season, you got Frank Onyeka, which is, you know, a bit of a question mark about whether or not he's going to be. Also in defence, you know, Ethan Peanut wasn't playing. You had Aya that started as well. You know, you had about 3 or 4 players that started in that game that you're thinking you ain't going to start at the beginning of the season. So that was obviously the plan from the start, and he just put caution to the wind, and we've got to try these players out, though.
I totally agree with you, Billy. I mean, honestly, Thomas is absolutely keeping his fire. He's not showing it to everybody what he's going to do. He's trying stuff out. He's letting people who wouldn't normally start playing, as you say. That I would agree with.
And Sharda. I mean, not being funny, we haven't seen Sharda. He's been missing in action, hasn't he?
We saw him in the warm-up. That's about it. He's not injured or anything. I hope not. That guy's going to be electric this season. But going back to your point about sort of trying stuff out, not necessarily showing his hand to the rest of the Prem, I get that. But I would have liked to see a little bit more excitement from the team. I must, I come all this way to do that. But it's Brentford. I'm sure he's got a plan, and it's all going to be great in the end, I'm sure. But I don't. We have such an incredible squad, such an incredible team ethic, and I'm sure that behind the scenes that's still with us. And by the time we come to the 13th of August, Tottenham will be a very different side. But it's been really, really fun being out here. Brentford in the USA. I've met so many fantastic Brentford fans here. People from all over the country here, and in a way, that's really made it for me. Come on, you bees.
You bees. Tim's in the house. Tim is in the house. Is in the place with Kyla here as well the day after the game. And listen, Brighton, Brentford, 2-0, Mercedes Benz Stadium. Bit of corporate branding here on the stadium, which means that it doesn't quite have a personality. I believe stadiums would always have personalities. They shouldn't be brands. And but people say it brings money in, which. But anyway, we won't get into that. We won't get into it. It's a wicked stadium. I want to come here to see Atlanta FC play at some stage to hear the vibes, because it wasn't quite the atmosphere today that it normally is in this stadium. However, I ain't complaining, because I'm out here. It's about 345 degrees outside, but it's air conditioned in this stadium with the roof closed, and it's lovely and cool. And in a way, we kind of, even though I don't want to stay here with 3 million Chelsea fans, that probably
it's a Chelsea home game.
That's right. Yeah, but the air conditioning has kind of kept me here for now. But Timbo, tell me, where are you from?
Tallahassee, Florida.
Tallahassee, Florida, man. And you're a Brentford. I mean, my brother lives in Tallahassee, Florida as well.
He's the reason I'm a Brentford fan.
Okay, because I've never met you before.
No, I was asking folks, I want to get into English Premier League. Who should I cheer for? And he said, oh my gosh, you've got to root for the Cinderella team. This was back 2 years ago. He said, we just made it to the Premier League. And my family's big Brentford fans. Come on, you bees.
Come on, you bees. So the game today, what do you think of the game today? I mean, obviously there's positives and negatives. Any positives there for you?
I really love the possession we came out with, but it felt like we couldn't get the ball out from our feet in the final third. And then defensively, we just seemed outclassed.
Okay, and again, we seemed outclassed. What, in the fact that Brighton were better from us up front, or we were making mistakes? In what way?
Felt like some of their runs were able to get us out of position, and then they were just too fast. We couldn't make up the distance. I
mean, they're pretty fast.
Yeah, and they split us wide as well, and we left their guys open. So.
To be fair, again, we were trying out different defenders. That's right. Even Pinnock didn't come on till later on. Aya, he was a big signing for us last season, or the season before, I think it was. He got injured for a lot of last season, so we're trying to get him back on track. So he got a long run out today, Christopher Aya.
Yeah, I was really. Generally speaking, I was really pleased with a lot of what we were trying to do. Seems like we're close. I'm really looking forward to seeing what we can put together this season.
You bees. Coach Clark in the house. Coach Clark, where are you from again?
I came from the Memphis area, just south of Memphis in Mississippi.
The Mississippi Bee. The Mississippi Bee here, watching the game. And again, you were here last night, had a good drink up last night as well. You've come down to Brentford. You're all over this, aren't you? I'm going to ask you the question though. Were you all over this game today?
I was, yes. We made a point to come to this game the last week of our off season. We made a point to come here to watch this game. I don't know if we'll ever get a chance to go over to London to watch Brentford in person. I saw they were coming 5 hours down the road. I told my wife, I said, do you think we can make it? She said, if you want to go, I think we got time, we can go.
Okay, and just talk to me about the game.
I think our players in the field, they created a lot of chances. They looked really good. Obviously, the guys that we marched out there to start with are not who we're going to roll out there in August. But all the guys we rolled out look pretty good. There's just a few question marks in goal. And I know Mark Flecken's new. I know he came from a different league. There's an adjustment period, so I'm holding my judgment on him. But at the same time, last 2 games, he has not looked the best.
And in what way has he not looked the best?
Well, I'm not a football pro, football pro, but when the ball's coming across the halfway line, you shouldn't be halfway to the midfield of the pitch.
So you say
He's
Flecken was
way
out
too far out of goal.
He was out of position for the first goal that Brighton scored.
Oh, first goal, definitely. Second goal, I saw it on the big screen. That was a tough one to stop. That's a good credit to the guy from Brighton who scored the goal. But the first one and the 2 that were scored against him in the first game against Fulham, that's one maybe Raya can teach him before he leaves.
Whoa.
Because we're assuming David Raya's going to go. Personally, I'd love to see David Raya stay, but he was already looking to leave in the summer. As an American sports fan, when you see guys do that, the writing's kind of on the wall.
So, listen, 2 games down, 2 games lost, but I mean, this is different. This is really weird because
Summer preseason.
Preseason is normally about you just getting your players fit. It's, a weird thing about it is that now we've got a spotlight on us as well, which I think puts a bit of pressure where people are expecting results.
Yes, I think like guys like me that are of the few that know who Brentford are and have watched them, we have this expectation, and then I think some of that mixed with that's not our starting 11 going out there. That's not the guys that's not a lineup I think Thomas Frank would put out there week 1. Ben Mee was not on the pitch to start the game. Are we really going to see that week 1? Do you think he's not going to be on the pitch week 1?
We'll see.
Well, we will see, but my money would be on him being there. But I think that with what we're doing, I think once we get all the pieces in place, and again, preseason is just that. It doesn't mean anything, but at the same time, as a fan that's probably not going to see him in person much, I'd like to see him do better, but I get it because I coach as well, so those scrimmage games like this, we put guys out there and give them a shot. Just show me what you can do so we know where to go from there. UBs. Come on, UBs.
More bees in the house after the game. So people not that disappointed, to be quite honest with you, because, we're here, big stadium, Mercedes Benz. Like I said to you, loads of Chelsea fans around us, loads of local Chelsea fans. Just bust themselves in, didn't have the manners to come and watch the bees earlier on, so they've come straight in to watch the Chelsea, but it doesn't really matter. Talk to me about that game.
The game, well, the result doesn't reflect how well they played. I think it deserved at least a draw, but the atmosphere was really flat. Really flat.
The atmosphere was strange, wasn't it?
Yeah, very strange.
And why do you think that is?
America? They're not sure what they're watching yet.
Again, just to describe the scene we got as we got coming in, obviously Brentford and Brighton are playing, so you're seeing Brentford fans here. I've seen quite a few Brighton fans as well. Not loads, Brighton fans, but then all of a sudden we've seen Atlanta United fans, loads of people in Chelsea shirts. I've seen Sheffield United, I've seen Stoke City, I've seen Arsenal, I've seen Liverpool. Basically, people are just turning up in any football shirt who are just into any Premier League or any football team whatsoever.
Absolutely.
And they just bought a ticket for this and they've just turned up here. So you've got a mishmash of people from all over the place. I mean, there's a Burnley fan over there, you know what I'm saying? I've seen a Burnley fan, it's like bizarre, you know what I'm saying? But they've all just turned up for here. They're all standing around in the bar areas, drinking and eating and just hanging out. No one's down there actually watching the game. It's a different experience.
It's very odd, yeah. And all the Chelsea shirts are, they're Pulisic. That's all just supporting the American player.
You can understand why that is. So, I mean, just talk to me about that game. So what went right or what went wrong?
Finishing. I think we possessed the ball well. We got some good action, some good chances, but just didn't quite finish it the way that Brighton finished it when they got the chance.
And are you... Listen, how long have you been supporting the Bees, realistically?
1 year.
Okay, so only a year. So you're here sort of in our big heyday. But obviously, even though we did well last season, we've still got a lot of work to do. we can't presume anything. You know, this season we could get relegated if things don't go right. Were you concerned today from what you've seen, or is it just part of the building process?
If this wasn't preseason, I'd be concerned.
Why?
Because we just haven't we haven't even competed very well today. I mean, at least according to the result. But you can tell that they were playing a preseason style. Frank didn't bring in a lot of attacking substitutions. It seems like they're trying to work out some plays right now, some different ways of attacking. So it looks really a lot like preseason practice in a way.
And as a person, where have you come down from?
From basically Orange County.
Okay, Orange County in Florida. Oh, Orange County,
California.
Oh, of course, California. So you come a long way.
Yeah.
So, are you slightly disappointed then?
I would have liked to see at least one goal. So yes, a little bit, but it was, they played well.
I can see it in your eyes, man. I see the tears welling up.
Again, I think they deserved at least a goal or two. They put up some good chances.
So you coming up to Washington?
No, unfortunately, no.
All right, so it's all over for you. So
It's
this is
all
it.
over, yeah.
You put all your money on this horse, and the horse didn't come in.
Yeah, for no goals, yeah.
But listen, we're the bees. Don't worry about it. We'll be fine,
good.
as we say. We'll be fine.
It's all good, yeah.
You bees.
You bees.
More bees in the house. Where you come from?
New Jersey.
New Jersey. That sounds like a New Jersey accent to me.
No, I was born in Brentford. Lived over here for a long time.
That's right.
So we were at Philly. We were here. We were in Orlando. So if you look at the social media, you're going to see pictures of us.
They're all over the place. So, but we're Brentford all over the place today, do you think?
No, I think we were unlucky, right? We should have had a couple of calls that went against us, right? At least one penalty, right? And everybody's just a little bit on their heels, right? It's pre-season, I get that, but I felt like there could have been a tiny bit more effort if you're trying to create a fan base here. And you got a lot of people traveling this week, spent a lot of money following the team around the country, and I felt like there was a couple of challenges we kind of could have gone in a bit harder on, and a couple of times we could have finished a bit better.
So you think, and it's interesting because you live here, you know Brentford, you support Brentford, but also at the same time, and we all know, we all say friendlies, pre-season friendlies, it's about how individuals play, seeing our new players come on, there's the player, was it Oli Geki, who played as well. I thought he looked quite impressive in the first half, in parts. So you look at things like that, but you're saying also the people that you live with who come to these matches, they're just looking at the result and they think, hold on a second, Brentford, I've heard about them, I've turned up, and they actually haven't got a result, and it may go against them. Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, what I'm saying is that you're trying to build a fan base, right? And if you look in Orlando, when we were in Orlando in January, there was 20 of us, right? Saturday night in Philadelphia, there was 200. I don't know how many are here, but you've got to keep the momentum going, and you keep the momentum going by saying to the guys, listen, give them something to cheer, right? I mean, we were unlucky. We had a couple of chances that should have gone in, but after that, we were a little bit flat, and then we kind of petered out at the end.
Listen, this is your boy. So listen, Gavin. So where are you from?
I'm from North Carolina.
Okay, from North Carolina. Which part of North Carolina?
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay, Charlotte. So I'm a Charlotte FC here.
Okay.
Queen City.
Yeah, Queen City.
I know all about the Queen City. I'll be there seeing Messi play. I'm going down to Miami next month for the Messi. Are you going to that game?
I'm not going to be there. When he comes to Charlotte, though, I got tickets to that one.
Okay, I've got that as well. Yeah, there you go. Hold on a second, Newcastle.
I love Brentford.
Hey, hold on a second. I just said we got Newcastle boy in the house here. Listen, Geordie boy's in the house. Are you enjoying it?
I love it.
Yeah?
It's mad in America, isn't it? It's fucking great. But in fairness to you, astounding last season. Well done. Fucking carry on with the good work.
That's right. Were you up in Philly for the game? Were you up in Philly? Or was this your first game?
No, I wasn't at Philly, but I'm here than New York, and I think we'll win.
That's right. Well, you're full of optimism, you Geordies, aren't you?
You've got to be, haven't you? You've got to be. I mean, after what you did last season, we should all believe.
That's right. So listen, lots of Geordies in the house here today.
Yeah, there's thousands actually.
3 million.
3 million?
Yes, 3 million of you at least.
That's
right.
fair. I'll take that.
Good.
How many Brentford fans turned up?
3.
No, don't lie.
When I went to Wembley for the Carabao Cup, there was 2 Brentford fans sneaked in with me and my son because they were like, we want to go and watch football. So I love Brentford.
That's it. Listen, this is all good. We'll be there in September for the game up at Newcastle.
Good luck.
We'll see you there. See you there.
Good luck.
Enjoy yourself today. Enjoy yourself today. Enjoy yourself. Okay, the Geordies in the house. They interrupted. I talk about Charlotte FC and Messi. Yeah, but I'll be there in September. No, I'll be there in August. A couple of games. I think New York City. I'm going to the NYC game. I think I'll be up there as well. So I might even see you in Charlotte as well, because it's good to have another B in Charlotte as well. But come in, forget Charlotte for now. And also the other thing is that you're standing in the stadium of your big rivals, the ATL. Listen, how did it feel? I mean, you were standing in their end, so
yeah,
I saw you take their end.
Yeah, it's a nasty feeling. I don't like being in the presence of my rival. I was a Carolina fan growing up, UNC, so I played basketball growing up, so we have that strong rivalry, and now, you know, transitioning into a soccer fan and watching the rivalry between Charlotte FC and now joining the Bees and watching our rivalries with the different London teams. It's not fun being on their turf.
No, definitely not. But saying that, it would have been more fun if we'd actually basically scored a few goals today and maybe won the match. What went wrong today, do you think?
I mean, I think we did get unlucky. We had some calls not go our way. Yeah, I mean, we had some chances. We didn't capitalize on them. 7 shots on target. We got to get at least one of them in. I think we got to finish one of those chances. Yeah, I mean, unlucky. And preseason, I think guys are getting fit. Maybe not treated as much as a regular season match, but yeah, I think we just got unlucky today.
A lot of people are a bit concerned with the goalkeeper because, you know, he's made a few little boobs early season. What I will say is that David Raya, when he first came to us, he was looking a little bit like, we're like, really? Is he going to be this top player? But he was like out of position. He was flappy with the ball when it came across. So these things happen with the keeper. Are you concerned, or do you think, listen, let's just see it out?
No, I think we see it out. Same thing as you just said with David Raya. We saw him come in and kind of iffy on his start, but as he settled in, you know, it's always an adjustment coming into the Premier League. It's the top league in the world, so coming into that Premier League and playing against these guys is always an adjustment. So I think he's just got to work himself out.
So listen, you going up to Washington? No.
I'll be in Washington.
Okay,
yes,
so and you go to Philly as well?
Yeah, I went to Philly.
Okay, so you've seen some goals. So
I've seen some goals.
Some goals on Philly, we lost. No goals today, we lost. So do you think Washington, we're going to turn it around? We're actually going to get some goals and we're going to win?
I think so. I think we'll turn around and get us a win to end off the trip.
UBs.
So
yeah, still in this Mercedes Benz place, air conditioned. We're almost like too scared to go outside because you think, oh my God, the sweat's going to be dripping off us, and it's 8 o'clock at night. It's been an interesting day, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's all about the experience, I guess, isn't it? You know, once again, I thought, you know, Brentford played all right during the game. The result wasn't obviously what we'd hoped for, but I think they looked fit. I think the starting 11, or the stronger players, there's some really good performances. KLP, it's the first time we've seen him at all looking like that player that we bought. If he starts the season like that, with that pace down the left, he was excellent. I thought Brian and Bumo looked mature. He looks like he's grown in a bit of stature without Tony being around. I thought the goalkeeper was at fault for the first goal. He looks a bit shaky at the back. He needs to get a bit of confidence. If Raya's not going to play, then he needs to be a little bit more composed. But yeah, all the way through, to be honest with you, I thought there was some, you know, Onyeka, he looked really good as well. You know, driving forward, putting a few big tackles. You know, I thought we were unlucky. 2-0 didn't reflect the game, I didn't think, but you know, I think the fitness levels are good. We put a lot of effort into into the last couple of games, and I think the signs are really good. We don't look weak. There's still a month and a bit of the transfer window to go, and if they want to improve in certain areas, there's still plenty of time to do that. So yeah, you know, as an experience of the day, the stadium is absolutely bonkers impressive. I've never, you know, people think that Spurs is good because of the stature of it. This thing is just on another level. It's just incredible, you know, to see my team play here. It's been worth the visit, worth the travelling. You know, will I come again next year? Probably not. but I'm glad I came, and I'm looking forward to Washington as well. So yeah, happy days, Bill.
Happy days. This is the Excited Pride of West London podcast coming to you from Atlanta. Don't forget to check out Gary Glissett. We did a little Gary Glissett podcast as well, Pride of West London. Check it out. We had a little chat with him as well. Don't forget to buy us a beer, besotted.com/beer. We've had plenty of Atlanta beers here, I have to say. They don't do any beers less than about 7% over here. It's quite bonkers as well. Don't forget to write us a review as well on all good podcast channels. And like I said to you, we're doing a podcast today. We're going to try and do another podcast today. So we'll be doing one on our chill out day after this one. Just check them all out on prideofwest.london, also besotted.com. But as we say, we're coming here from the Mercedes Benz Stadium as Chelsea line up to play Newcastle, as you can hear in the background. We're going to go and find a little pub and maybe go and watch some Women's World Cup or something else and leave the Chelsea and Newcastle fans to enjoy themselves. But as we say, it's been a good evening, it's been a good afternoon, we've had a good day, and we say, as we say, come on, you bees! Yeah!